Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're unpacking one of the absolute hottest names in tech right now, NVIDIA.
Definitely a big one.
Yeah, exactly. So if you're looking to understand the incredible momentum and the future potential of NVIDIA stock, especially in 2025, you're absolutely in the right place.
We'll try and cut through some of the noise for sure.
That's the plan. We'll distill the key insights from, well, all our research and give you the essential info you need to get well-informed, fast. But hey, before we jump into this fascinating story, if you love these deep dives, please do hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and maybe share this with anyone who appreciates, a good knowledge shortcut.
Yeah, that really helps us out.
Okay, let's dive into this roller coaster ride. It's really been quite a journey for NVIDIA.
You can say that again.
I mean, NVIDIA's story, right? From starting out as a graphics pioneer way back in '93 to the AI titan it is today. It's just phenomenal.
It's true.
But 2025 itself, wow, it's been particularly dramatic for the stock. We saw it soar, hit an all-time high, $149.43 on January 6th.
Yeah, seemed like it couldn't be stopped.
And then came the dip. By April, the stock actually fell below $100.
Oof.
Yeah, and it wasn't just one thing, right? It was like a mix of a broader U.S. market correction, growing worries about tariffs.
And that DeepSeek case, too.
Exactly, that DeepSeek case, this legal challenge that raised some pretty serious questions about IP rights for large AI models. It kind of cast a shadow over all the big AI players for a bit.
Created some uncertainty.
But here's where it gets really interesting, because mid-2025 brought this remarkable, almost unbelievable recovery.
Just shot back up.
Totally. The stock surged to a new all-time high, $173 on July 17th. And then, get this, an unprecedented $4 trillion market cap by mid-July.
$4 trillion.
NVIDIA became the first company ever to hit that milestone. Just staggering.
And what's truly remarkable about that recovery is the specific context driving it. That wasn't just, general market good feelings.
Right, there were reasons.
Exactly. It was fueled by two very concrete things. First, the U.S. lifted export restrictions on NVIDIA's really crucial H20 AI chips going to China.
Ah, okay. That's big.
Huge. That move instantly reopened a massive revenue stream that was, previously choked off.
Right.
And second, alongside that, we saw a substantial increase in global capital expenditure in AI infrastructure. So companies everywhere were just pouring money into building out their AI capabilities.
And NVIDIA's chips are?
They're right at the heart of that expansion. Simple as that.
Right.
And becoming a $4 trillion company, well, it isn't just a number, right?
No, it's symbolic.
It fundamentally cements NVIDIA's position, not just as a leader, but really as the dominant foundational force in the whole tech ecosystem, especially within AI. It just signals massive investor confidence in their strategy and their tech.
That context really makes the comeback story even more compelling, doesn't it?
It really does.
So, okay, with that kind of performance and market confidence, what are the fundamentals, the analytical forecasts, the strategic plays that are truly fueling NVIDIA's strong appeal now in 2025?
Well, the forecasts are pretty eye-popping.
I bet. Like the revenue.
Yeah, analysts are projecting full-year revenue to hit approximately $111.3 billion in 2025.
Oh, compared to?
Compared to $26.97 billion just 2 years ago in 2023. That's an exponential jump.
Incredible. And EPS obviously expected to rise with that.
Naturally, yeah. And this all just screams AI and data center dominance. Their chips aren't just, part of AI growth. They're the bedrock for it. Almost every industry you can think of.
We saw that data center revenue already, right? That huge jump in 2023.
Astonishing. 409% surge in 2023. And that upward trend is absolutely expected to keep going through 2025 as more and more companies adopt AI to, boost productivity and stay competitive.
Makes sense.
And crucially, it's not just about strengthening their sort of traditional areas. A key takeaway here is NVIDIA's really aggressive expansion into new, high-growth sectors.
Like what?
Well, take autonomous vehicles, AVs, the NVIDIA Drive platform. It's being adopted widely by major car manufacturers. It's becoming pretty foundational for self-driving development.
Okay, so automotive is a big push.
Definitely. Then there's significant investment in edge computing. That helps them by enabling faster data processing closer to where the data is generated.
Right, for real-time stuff.
Exactly. Critical for things like smart factories, advanced IoT devices, you name it. And these strategic moves, they act as powerful growth catalysts. And they can do this because they have such strong free cash flow.
gives them flexibility.
Right. Flexibility for key acquisitions, strategic partnerships, this proactive forward-looking strategy. It doesn't just boost their tech, it expands their market reach. And the market, well, it's clearly responding.
Yeah, you see the analyst ratings.
Absolutely. Numerous analyst upgrades, lots of price targets now well above $200. You see ranges like $155 up to $225. It just reflects this really deep, widespread, positive sentiment, confidence in the long term.
It's clear they're just relentlessly innovating, always pushing the envelope. And we got a fantastic peek into that future at CES 2025, didn't we?
Oh, yeah. CES was big for them.
Let's talk about some of those specific product innovations that are really, fueling this future potential. One that really jumped out, for me anyway, was Project Digits.
Ah, yes, the personal supercomputer.
Basically. A personal AI supercomputer costs around $3,000, apparently, and it's like the size of your hand.
Pretty small for what it does.
Right. But don't let the size fool you. It can handle AI models up to 200 billion parameters.
Which is massive for a desktop device.
Exactly. Compare that to, say, Qualcomm's AI PC that's around $1,000, handles maybe 13 billion parameters. So Project Digits is offering like 5 times better performance per dollar.
That's a significant leap.
It's built on their Grace Blackwell chip, the GB110, developed with MediaTek, I think, and due out around May 2025. This feels like more than just power. It feels strategic.
Exactly. And that really is the aha moment with Project Digits. The real insight isn't just the raw power, though that's impressive. It's the strategic shift, bringing that AI supercomputer capability right to your desk.
Changing the workflow.
Fundamentally.
Yeah.
For AI researchers, data scientists, developers, it reduces their reliance on constant cloud access. You get local, secure compute. That cuts latency, cuts energy costs.
More secure too, presumably.
Yeah. Build and fine-tune models locally with better security, and then it connects seamlessly to NVIDIA's cloud for deployment. This alone could supercharge the whole AI market, which, remember, is expected to grow like 8x by 2033.
Wow. And that wasn't all at CES, right? The GPUs.
No, definitely not. We also saw the new RTX 50 series Blackwell GeForce desktop GPUs, and the buzzword there was insane performance per dollar.
Putting pressure on AMD?
Oh, yeah. Serious pricing pressure on AMD's upcoming Radeon RX 9000 series. For instance, they're saying the RTX 5070 achieves performance comparable to the last generation's flagship, the 4090.
The 4090?
Yeah, but at a price of just $549.
Oh, aggressive.
Very. And these aren't just small upgrades. We're talking 92 billion transistors, thousands of TOPS, trillions of operations per second, and petaflops of AI performance.
Numbers that were unthinkable for consumers just a few years back.
Exactly. It allows for incredibly fluid graphics, ray tracing, and massive AI processing power right on your desk. It's a huge leap.
So the hardware is pushing boundaries, but they're also working on the software side, the AI side.
Absolutely. Beyond the hardware, they're making huge strides in what they're calling grounded generative AI. Take DLSS4 deep learning supersampling.
Okay, what's that do?
It fundamentally improves frame rates. It does this by predicting up to 3 frames into the future. So, effectively, for every 1 pixel the GPU actually calculates, DLSS4 can generate up to 15 pixels.
15, wow. So much higher frame rates for less power.
Precisely. It drastically increases the output per watt or per dollar, getting more from less. And then there's this incredible synergy they showed. NVIDIA, Omniverse plus Cosmos.
Omniverse, that's their simulation platform, right? Digital twins.
Exactly. Physics-based simulator, used for everything from robotics training to self-driving car simulations. Cosmos is described as a world foundation model. That, and this is fascinating, speaks in physics.
It speaks in physics.
Yeah. It allows developers to generate millions of photorealistic videos from just a single simulation. Think complex traffic patterns for training self-driving AI or intricate robot navigation in a constantly changing factory.
So you can generate vast amounts of training data very efficiently.
Exactly. And what's truly transformative here, stepping back, is how these innovations are fundamentally changing the economics of computing. We're moving towards AI PCs, AI smartphones that handle complex AI stuff directly. It's shifting beyond just chatbots to a much more integrated, powerful AI experience everywhere.
That is a staggering amount of innovation. Not just chips, like you said, but entire ecosystems. But it's not just the tech and the market forces at play here, is it?
No, definitely not.
We're also seeing these broader governmental policies and NVIDIA's own leadership providing some really significant tailwinds. Let's talk about the Trump administration's winning the AI race plan. That seems to have had a noticeable impact.
Absolutely. And when you look at that plan, there are two main policy pillars that directly benefit NVIDIA. First, there's a strong data center push.
Okay.
Trump's directives are pushing for heavy data center construction. And crucially, they've streamlined the permitting process, especially environmental permits, which, could be really complex before.
Right, cutting red tape.
Exactly. Plus, there are special tax benefits specifically mentioned for NVIDIA. So this effectively speeds up demand and orders for their GPUs by making it easier and cheaper for the hyperscalers, the big cloud guys like AWS, Google, Azure, to build the infrastructure that needs those GPUs.
Makes sense. And the second pillar?
The second is an AI export support program. Essentially, the government is setting up a special fund, providing state bank loans to help foreign customers buy U.S. AI tech.
With NVIDIA chips at the core.
Right at the core. So you've basically got the government acting as a kind of salesman, helping to expand NVIDIA's global customer base. If you connect this to the bigger picture, it's pretty clear how these strategic government initiatives are amplifying NVIDIA's market lead.
That's fascinating how much government policy can really shape market leadership like that. But, does this reliance on political influence also maybe introduce a new layer of risk for NVIDIA, given how unpredictable geopolitics can be?
That's a very sharp question. And yes, it absolutely does introduce risk. We should definitely dig into that.
Okay, but before we get to the risks, there's also this unique, almost diplomatic role being played by the CEO, Jensen Huang. It's not just about silicon anymore, is it?
You're absolutely right. And that really reveals a critical insight for any tech giant today. Success isn't solely about innovation anymore. It's increasingly about the C-suite's ability to navigate these really complex geopolitical waters and forge strategic policy alliances.
How's the China H20 chip situation?
Exactly. Once successful negotiations with the Trump administration led to the lifting of that H20 chip export ban to China. Now, it came with the 15% revenue sharing agreement, but still.
That was huge, right? Unlocking that market again.
Monumental.
Yeah.
It unlocked a massive revenue stream, potentially valued at like $160 billion US that everyone thought was basically lost. And maybe more importantly, it helped NVIDIA keep crucial market share in China.
So his influence makes a real difference.
It provides NVIDIA with an almost unmatched non-technical competitive edge. You don't see competitors making quite the same inroads at those high policy levels. It's really a testament to his ability to navigate these incredibly complex geopolitical landscapes for the company's benefit.
Okay, so we've painted this picture. Incredible innovation, huge strategic advantages, these unique political tailwinds.
A pretty rosy picture, mostly.
Mostly, yeah. But even with such a bright outlook, it's always crucial, especially for you, the listener, looking at NVIDIA, to acknowledge the risks. There are important risks and considerations. Let's start with valuation concerns.
Always a factor with high flyers.
Right. NVIDIA is currently trading at the high end of its historical forward PE multiple, its price-to-earnings ratio. Doesn't that high valuation just, open it up to significant downside if things don't go perfectly?
It absolutely does. That's precisely where the risk of overpriced optimism, as some call it, comes in. The market's enthusiasm for AI is immense, right?
Yeah.
And while it's largely justified by the potential, but it means that even the slightest blip, maybe missing an earnings expectation by a little bit or a slight slowdown in AI adoption rates, could significantly whack the stock. The bar is set incredibly high right now.
Okay, so high expectations are a risk. What else? Competition.
Always. Competition is ever present.
Yeah.
You've got companies like AMD, Intel, plus numerous, nimble startups all advancing rapidly. NVIDIA has to maintain continuous innovation at a furious pace just to sustain its technological edge.
No resting on laurels.
None at all.
Yeah.
And there's also this critical sort of ROI question, return on investment. While NVIDIA is selling the picks and shovels for the AI gold rush.
The GPUs, the platforms.
Right. The question remains whether the gold diggers, the companies pouring hundreds of billions into AI infrastructure and solutions, are actually finding enough gold yet to justify those massive investments.
Is the AI paying off for everyone using it?
Exactly. The math isn't quite working out fully for many users yet. The long-term promise of productivity gains and new applications is definitely there, and it's strong. But the immediate widespread ROI across the board, still developing.
Okay, that's a really important point. What about policy risk?
Right, we touched on the benefits, but policy volatility is definitely a double-edged sword. While policies have provided these huge tailwinds recently,
they could change.
They could change fast. Shifts in regulations, trade policies, especially given the unpredictable nature of geopolitics these days, could quickly alter NVIDIA's revenue streams or market access. That's a constant uncertainty.
Okay, so valuation, competition, ROI questions, policy volatility, anything from a technical analysis perspective right now, say as of August 2025.
Yeah, looking at a technical snapshot around then, NVIDIA's recent surge seems largely driven by money flowing into the stock ahead of earnings reports. Anticipation, basically.
Okay.
But interestingly, the broader semiconductor ETF, the SMH, it's lagging behind NVIDIA itself. That suggests maybe limited broad market strength in the sector. It's more concentrated in NVIDIA.
So maybe not the whole sector lifting equally.
Potentially. And some technical analysis suggests there might be limited upside for NVIDIA in the near term, maybe to around $188 before hitting what analysts call a brick wall of resistance.
Meaning lots of sellers might appear.
Yeah, a strong selling point, potentially with a high probability, maybe 70% of rejection, and then a move lower. We're even seeing analysts point to a potential head and shoulders pattern forming on that SMH chart.
Which is usually bearish.
Typically signals a potential broader bearish trend for the semiconductor market if it plays out. So given these super high expectations for NVIDIA's earnings, the company really needs to blow out its numbers and provide spectacular forward guidance just to maintain the upward momentum.
The pressure is definitely on.
Immense pressure, which, raises that important question. Given all these dynamics, the huge potential, but also these significant risks, how does someone even approach investing in NVIDIA?
Yeah, what does history suggest?
Well, looking at historical data around earnings.
Yeah.
Short-term trading, like buying just before and selling soon after, has shown pretty modest median returns. Maybe plus 3% for holding a day, plus 4% for a week, plus 3% for a month. Nothing spectacular on average.
But longer term.
However, longer-term holding periods, especially holding for one full year, have historically yielded significant returns for NVIDIA. We're talking a median return of 117% over the past decade, with positive outcomes 83% of the time for that one-year hold.
So historically, at least, patience has been rewarded more than short-term timing.
That's what the data tends to suggest, yes, though past performance is never guaranteed, of course.
Of course. So, okay, wrapping this up. What does this all mean for you, the learner, trying to get a handle on NVIDIA's trajectory in 2025?
Well, it's complicated, right?
Yeah. We've seen this blend of incredible innovation, clear strategic market dominance, and these unique political tailwinds positioning NVIDIA for potentially strong growth. Right. But we've also highlighted those crucial risks: the valuation, the competition, the ROI question, policy shifts, and the technical indicators to keep an eye on, hopefully giving you a pretty comprehensive view.
I think so. And maybe a final thought to leave folks with. NVIDIA's innovations, particularly in personal supercomputing with things like Project Digits and this grounded generative AI, it's moving way beyond just chatbots, isn't it?
Seems like.
It really suggests a future where AI chips become truly integral to every aspect of computing. Our personal devices, industrial systems, scientific research, everything. So the provocative thought is, how do you think this profound shift could actually transform your own digital experiences and the world around you in the coming years?
That is a fantastic, really thought-provoking idea to chew on. Thanks for bringing that up, and thank you for joining us on this deep dive into NVIDIA.
My pleasure.
If you found value in this deep dive today, please make sure to like this episode, subscribe to the deep dive, and definitely hit that notification bell so you never miss our next one.
And share it with a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Share it with a friend who loves to learn and stay informed. We'll catch you next time on the deep dive.